May is here and it's officially Taurus season. So I don't know about you, but I'm in the mood for some comfort, indulgence, and maybe even a good slow burn. And if you're feeling like that, I have 9 books that are coming out in May that are going to be perfect for you to get all of the May vibes. So let's get into them. Welcome to Reading Under the Covers, a romance novel podcast where we chat, fangirl, and maybe even swoon over our latest reads. I'm Francesca from Under the Covers Book Blog, and today we are talking about 9 book releases in May of 2025 that I think definitely need to be on your radar and on your TBR. And if you are following us on Substack and you're wondering, where is the May reading guide? So don't worry, it is still coming May 7th, so it's actually going to come to you guys next week. I know it was supposed to go out this week, but we're running a little bit behind schedule. It's going to be really exciting. We have some astrological recs, some tropes that are perfect for you to read in the month of May, and just overall a great vibe check for books that you need to be reading in the month of May, not just new releases. But also, since it's Taurus season, if you're in the mood for some book characters that also give that Taurus energy, kind of steady, sensual, and a little bit stubborn, I actually did a podcast a few years back with some Taurus themed book recommendations that include some books that have Taurus vibes and book characters that could be Taurus. So I'm going to leave that link down below so you can check it out, because those are also great books for you to read this month. And last, as a quick reminder, if you are a paid member of our Substack, you also have access to the Book Vault, which is basically a curated database with upcoming book releases, romance, fantasy, mystery, and all subgenres. There's a ton more book releases for the month of May and ongoing as well, plus all of the books that we post about on book lists or videos here on the channel. And everything is categorized by subgenre, by character type, by trope, by setting, and much more, and you can filter through all of that. So if you are already a member, I'm going to leave the link where you can go and access that. And if you're not a paid member of our Substack yet, definitely check it out and see if you're interested in that. It's a great resource for you to always find the book that you're in the mood for. But with all of that being said, though, let's get into the books for May, because there's so many amazing books that are coming out in May. Also, we're starting to get that vibe change, so we're getting a little bit closer to our beach reads, which I'm super excited about as well. I'm going to kick things off though with one of my absolute favorite authors, and that is Archangel's Obsession by Nalini Singh. So this one is book 17 in the Guild Hunter series. It comes out May 6th. So it's definitely deep in the series, and yes, you do need to read the books in order. But I know that if you're following the series along, you've been waiting for this story for some time. So this is finally Eoden and Ilium's book, Sparkle and Bluebell, and it is a friends to lovers. It's a little bit messy. It's definitely high stakes because they are part of Raphael's 7, but it's also a story that is full of longing and emotional vulnerability, which I think is something that everyone really loves about these two. Now, this series is definitely heavier on the urban fantasy than the paranormal romance, but it is a series that straddles the line between these two genres, so it is a great series that I cannot recommend enough. If you haven't started the series, obviously I wouldn't recommend that you start here, but definitely check out the whole series because you really can't go wrong with this series. It's an absolute must read, I think, whether you're a fan of urban fantasy or a fan of paranormal romance. Now, I also wanted to mention, if you are doing the Romance Happily Reading Challenge with us, this book is actually a friends to lovers romance as well. So I think it would fit perfectly for the Pin and Peak Lanes prompt for Romance Happily this year. So if you wanted to check that out and you are caught up in the series, this would definitely fit that prompt. It is a solid friends to lovers romance arc. It does have that paranormal setting as well. It's just a great book for that. Plus, I think it's also a great Taurus season pick because it does have themes of transformation and stepping into your own power, which definitely feels very Taurus coded if you ask me. Also, speaking about Romance Happily, I wanted to give you guys a heads up. If you are, again, a paid member of our Substack, I have something a little bit special for you guys that I'm super excited about, because guess what I've already started working on this week? I am planning already for Romance Happily 2026, and yes, we are going to give it an overhaul again. There's something fun and special that's going to be coming, and I'm going to try to bring you guys along with me on a behind the scenes of how I'm planning the whole board, the whole challenges, and like the whole structure. So you guys will get to see that on our paid Substack community. So definitely check for that. I will try and sprinkle those in some of the monthly posts over there as well. detail so that you guys will get to see a little bit of a sneak peek early of what that's going to look like or even what it's going to be about. Continuing with May 6th, the next one that I wanted to talk to you guys about is one that I have read, and it's actually a fun mystery debut novel. So this is The Retirement Plan by Sue Hinsenbergs, and hopefully I'm not totally butchering the author's name. So this was a fun surprise. I picked it up on a whim because the cover absolutely drew me in, and I definitely just really was feeling the bit of the dark comedy vibe for this, so I just had to read it. It's a little bit dark comedy, a little bit thriller, and it's all about 4 women who are very much over their husband's nonsense. All the men actually had blown their retirement funds on a very sketchy investment, so basically they're all struggling. And then the women decide, you know what, maybe we can collect the life insurance payout on them and just live our best life. The only thing that's standing in their way is the fact that they're not dead, but they can fix that. Of course, things are never that simple, especially because the husbands catch on and they try to outmaneuver them. But this is a fun back and forth scheming and dry humor story. It's just a fun kind of domestic thriller with lots of sass. I think if you've been really digging revenge girly era stories, this debut is definitely going to keep you turning the pages, wine glass in hand kind of story. And sticking with May 6th, definitely another one that I am really looking forward to reading is Daughter of Tides by Kit Rocha. I am so deep in my I want all the water related romance, and this one is definitely checking all the boxes. It has fantasy court intrigue, it has pirate vibes, it has immortal gods, and a slow burn trio that is on a dangerous mission. It's the start of a brand new series. It's called the Born to Sea and Storm series. Honestly, the moment that I saw the God of Love is dying and going on a last quest with a pirate lord and a water nymph, that sounds so amazing right there. I am sold and I just need to get it. Then we add in a simmering throuple dynamic and some seductive politics at the Ice Queen's court. So I am totally in with this one. It sounds right up my alley right now. Like I said, I'm definitely in my pirates and mermaids and even just contemporaries on a ship. I just want all the boat and water related things right now. So if you have read Concert of Fire, you already know that Kit Rocha does great world building with very high heat. This one has that stormy, sensual, sacrificial love arc. I think it's perfect if you want a little bit of romance and fantasy that feels a little messy. Now, moving on to some May 20th releases. The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. It's definitely high on my list of things to read. Now, I'm also very excited about this. It's a new series by Rachel Gillig, and our guest reviewers here at Under the Covers have really loved her books in the past. This one is dark fantasy romance, or dark romantasy, and I think it feels perfect for fans of Leigh Bardugo and Jennifer L. Armentrout. It's got lots of atmosphere, prophecy, and a mysterious brooding nights. Sybil is a diviner who receives dreams from these godlike beings called omens, but when the other girls in her cathedral start disappearing, she is forced to team up with Roderick. He is a heretical knight who is very rude, very hot, and very skeptical of her visions. It's the perfect enemies to reluctant allies. It's the first book in a series. It's the Stonewater Kingdom series, so I think it's a great time for you to jump into something new and try out Rachel Gillig if you haven't. Definitely if you're into gothic vibes, a prophetess, heroine, and some morally gray knights or heroes, this is definitely going to fulfill all those darker, more introspective Taurus moods as well. So I think it's a perfect read for right now. And then from something dark, we're going to go to something funny and flirty and a perfect beach read. This is Not Safe for Work by Nisha J. Tooley. This also comes out May 20th. And this book honestly feels like the perfect beach read for the Enemies to Lovers fans. We've got Trishara, who is an engineer that has been passed over for a promotion again, and Rafe, who is the boss's son, and he's the one that got the job instead. So pretty much classic setup, except they both get sent on a corporate retreat to Hawaii, and thanks to a little mix-up, they are stuck sharing the honeymoon suite. This one definitely leans into the tropical tension and the workplace power dynamics, but it still gives us lots of charm and heart underneath all of that, plus of course some steam. It feels very much like The Hating Game, but with a summery twist, so I think this one will definitely hit the spot. It sounds like lots of fun and a great book to go into the summer with. The next one is also a perfect, I think, getting into summer book, and it's Heart of the Sun by Mia Sheridan. It's also coming out May 20th. Now, it's been a hot minute since I've read Mia Sheridan, so I'm excited to read this one. It is a apocalyptic second chance romance with a pop star and a bodyguard. And actually, the first thing that I thought about when I read the blurb for this book is the song If the World Was Ending by J.P. Sachs and Julia Michaels. So I think that would be totally perfect and definitely something that I want to read right now. We have Emily and Tuck, who were childhood best friends, maybe even soulmates, but life pulled them apart. And then 13 years later, she is a rising pop star that is dealing with fame and burnout, and he is an ex-con trying to rebuild his life. And when their worlds collide again, she hires him as her bodyguard. And of course, the chemistry is still very much there between them. But just as things start to get emotionally messy in the best way, there is a massive solar flare that hits and then takes down the power grid. I think that probably hits a little bit too close to home right now since Spain and Portugal just had a huge blackout, but we're gonna go with that. So now basically they are stuck together and the world is unraveling. This one is emotional, it's slow burn, it's nostalgic, and it's got a very raw and tender vibe. So I think it's perfect for fans of second chances, childhood best friends, and survival romance, and also that bittersweet longing and a little bit of angst. So definitely it's not your typical beach read, but I think it absolutely is the perfect beach read when you're looking for something different. And now for the May 27th releases, one that I am super excited about is All Superheroes Need PR by Elizabeth Stevens. So this one just sounds like pure fun. If you like a paranormal romance with a comic book twist, I think this one sounds like a very cool take. We've got Roland, who is a bad boy supervillain who's trying to rebrand himself as a hero, and Vanessa, who is a shy but brilliant PR rep who's been hired to make him more palatable. But of course, there's some fake dating strategy that's going to clean up his image, and it gets very real very fast. And if you've read Elizabeth Stevens before, you know she already brings all the heat, banter, and some unexpectedly big feelings. Now, I read my first Elizabeth Stevens in the month of April, which I talked about in my Bold Girls Spring video, so I'm going to leave that linked as well. But I definitely really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to read this one. It sounds like so much fun, and I think the only superhero romance that stands out to me right now is Karma Girl by Jennifer Estep. So I definitely want to read a little bit more of the comic book paranormal romances. Plus, this one is the first in a new series. It's the Supers in the City series, which is always exciting because I'll just be able to follow the series along. Now, for my historical romance readers, I have Manic, Pixie, Dream, Earl by Jenny Holiday. This is book 2 in the Earl's Trip series, and it's perfect when you're looking for something lighthearted. So with the series, we're following 3 Regency era BFFs who go on an annual boys trip getaway. So think of this kind of Bridgerton meets The Hangover, but it can get a bit heartfelt as well. This one focuses on Edward. He is a poet viscount who's been secretly corresponding with a magazine editor named Juliana while pretending to be a woman named Euphemia. So she thinks that he is her shy country girl pen pal, and he is fully fallen in love with her through these letters. So obviously things blow up when she shows up to finally meet in person and discovers the whole truth. Now, the first book in the series was really enjoyable and really sweet, so I am definitely looking forward to reading this one. I really love the bromance between the Earls, and the romance was very rom-commy, so I'm definitely excited for it. And if you're a fan of Evie Dunmer or Virginia Heath, I think you'll definitely enjoy this quirkier and more chaotic kind of historical romance, so definitely check this one out. And to close things out for May 27th as well, I've got another contemporary romance, and that is Much Ado About Hating You by Sarah Echevarri Smith. So this one sounds like a total vibe. It's very much enemies at work by day and then spicy fanfic writer and secret reader by night. I could not be more into this premise, and I can't wait to dive into it. It's perfect if you love that trope where I really hate this guy, but also I am secretly corresponding with him online or on some kind of app. So I think this one sounds like so much fun. Plus, we've got an academic setting. She is an auditor and he's a literature professor. And of course, they are in forced proximity thanks to an audit. So the twist here is that he writes spicy Shakespeare fanfic under a pen name, and she has been loving it. It's full of chaotic tension, the hot professor, black cat girly, some praise kink as well, and good girl energy. And I think it's also fun that we are talking about a fanfic writer, because there is a lot of talk right now about the Dramani fanfic authors that are being published this year. So it's actually fun to see a book that actually features a fanfic writer. I think this would be perfect if you are a fan of Book Lovers by Emily Henry, but you want something spicier. maybe a little bit more chaotic, this one definitely is a good one to grab. Those are all the books that I have for you guys for the month of May that I think should be on your radar and on your TBR. I know that I didn't cover some of the big name titles here, and that is on purpose. I always want to make sure that I talk about things that maybe other people are not talking about, because so many amazing books are getting published and we cannot all be talking about the same books. So let me know what are your most anticipated books that are coming out in May of 2025. Leave those in the comments. I can't wait to hear from you. And as always, if you are tuning in from YouTube, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any videos from us, and follow us on Substack for free so you don't miss any content that we post across all of our platforms. But for today, that's all I have for you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!